Sitting on the sky above.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mettā Makers podcast. My name is Davis.
And this is Dylan.
And we're here with our friend Justin. How you feeling today, Justin?
I feel really great. It's 10:30 at night and I'm feeling great.
That's good. So we're going to talk about a few things, hospitality related, food and drinks, how you got involved with Mettā Creative, and see where it goes from there. Sound good?
Sounds so good. You sound really good.
So, Justin, where are you from?
I was born in the Caribbean. In Antigua and Barbuda.
That's two places at once you were born?
Oh well, I was born on the Antigua part, which is the bigger and what they say is cooler part.
Why would it be cooler than
Well, Barbuda doesn't have anything on it really. Oh well, I'm sorry. My Barbudans listening. So it actually is kind of messed up because a hurricane came by and totally destroyed 97% of all buildings on Barbuda 2 years ago. And so now there really is nothing on Barbuda, but there were deer, native deer. Maybe there's some still around, but no, yeah, they probably got blown off. It's like a sandbar now. So, but yeah, Antigua, it's I suppose it's a volcanic island of some sort, but it doesn't have a volcano on it. It's just like one of those,
Can you tell us a story about growing up in Antigua?
Yeah, I can tell you guys a story. But hey, so there's a volcano that you can see from where my house was, right by the water on this cliff, and it erupted one day. I was just watching, I think Digimon or something, and it erupted. And we had an earthquake, and there was the whole ash storm. It was snowing, ash and stuff, which is it was really apocalyptic and quite fun and interesting. But because it's just magnificent and it was beautiful to watch, but it was a little frightening, I suppose.
Oh, thank you for that. It's dramatic. And so how did you come to the States? What's been your journey since Antigua?
The journey has been came up here for a better life, I suppose, was the idea, and I've had a fantastic life here. It was for there's great schools and so on in America, which is that was the idea. That's what they said. That there was a lot of very strange happenings that went on to guide me here and to have this be my home now.
So how long have you been living here, stateside?
On and off since I was 19 years.
So you're an island boy, and I remember one time we were in Colorado after being in the backyard last year. We climbed that mountain, and we looked down, and we said, "It's too high."
It was, yeah. I had
Above sea level.
Yeah, the
I've
beach
never
boy.
been that high before.
That was a good time. So Justin, when was your first Mettā Creative event experience?
Oh, my first Mettā Creative event experience. The experience of when the event started. It's a long story, really.
We call them experiences, but it's synonymous with event. But
Okay.
yeah. So when was your first Mettā event?
Well, it was Beauty in the Backyard 2018, numero uno. That was the one. And I only got involved the Tuesday before it started, and started that Friday. And I've been with you guys ever since.
Yeah.
It's been quite a ride.
It has been, man. I'm so excited to finally have you on the podcast and talk about this stuff. So, what did you think before coming to that event about Mettā Creative? And I guess you met Dylan first, right?
Yeah.
And he told you about it. What got you excited in the first place?
What got me excited? I'll tell you what. Well, Dylan got me excited. Like, it was funny. A friend of mine who I was working with, we were doing event bartending at the time. My friend Nick was like, "Hey, you're really gonna like this guy we're working with today." And I was like, "Oh, great. That's great." I was like, "Oh, I'm going to work, but whatever. Cool. Meet cool people." And I meet Dylan. We had a fantastic shift. He was very oriented and all that. Oh, I got my guitar.
I basically convinced you to buy a ticket like that day.
Oh, there was like little to no convincing going on. It was like he just told me that he was throwing a festival. I'd never been to a festival before.
A creative arts retreat.
A creative arts retreat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a creative arts retreat, which was it sounded just really all the way up my alley. And so, I bought a ticket then and there.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
it's been I've been so admired by your dedication to feeding us, to making sure that we have enough energy to, go forth and do what we do, and I think that's something that, you've been doing for the past year, with us, which is, sometimes that doesn't get the recognition that it deserves because it's kind of back of the house, as a hospitality term. The back of the house isn't, it's, what about the back of the house, what does it mean to you, and how do you get through it?
It's hard. I don't know. I'm a bit of an actor, a bit of a frontman. I like to, and I'm a people person, so it's like it's hard for me, but it's good. I always felt like it was good because it was out of my norm at the time when I started, and it was like I don't know if y'all believe in astrology or whatever, but it was like, I guess that was like the rising Capricorn in me. It was just like I wanted to like have that something that was like hard that I could do, and I was like, and it was like nothing to me. Like that's what the idea was.
Well,
one of the ideas.
It wasn't completely out of your norm. You went to culinary school, that's correct?
Oh yeah, no, what I mean, like, yeah, I meant like when I started cooking, which was like, yeah, for my friends, after, yeah, we would all get high, and like on weed, which was like a thing that people did back then, and we would have, money, there was pizza money, I'm snitching on like every kid right now, like, yeah, pizza money is weed money, actually. So, but then you have no money for pizza, which is the horrible part. So then, but also, my mom only liked to cook like every once in a long while, and it was always like specific Caribbean things, so we never really had like proper stuff to cook, and so I ended up having to like make weird stuff out of like stuff that like no one would think would be food at the end, or like a meal, and I would just make it, and I would just wow my friends, and then I was like, maybe I could do this as like a thing that I do for people, and I was like, you gotta eat, so I started doing it, but yeah, it kind of turned into like my life for a lot of years, and yeah, back to the house can be rough. Back to the house can be a lonely place, it can be an unforgiving, but it'd be nice.
So yeah, I mean, you were throwing parties and you were in multiple bands. You're holding a guitar right now for people that are listening. And so, you want to play a little song for us?
No, it is so hard in that back of the house. You gotta be all alone all the time, and your hands fucking hurt all the time too. And they're wet and fucking sticky, and you gotta kill things sometimes to feed assholes cartels and fucking like mafioso. Fuck. Try not to say motherfucker so much.
Thank you for that. I think that's the first live jam on the podcast, setting records.
Yeah.
So you talked
Making
about what
first.
got you into cooking, but what does hospitality mean to you?
Hospitality. So it's like alright, so hospitality means to me the act of creating an environment that is conducive to whatever you're envisioning. So like as an example, like what we do, like hospitality would be like we're in with these events, like it's a lot about relaxation and being in the moment. And in order to be in the moment, especially for me, like my mind likes to race, I feel like I just need a lot of security, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs kind of thing. So for a lot of people, it's different. They're on different levels, but you have to cover as many levels as possible. Like so, like for hospitality, you need shelter, food, water, and like to know that you're safe.
Tidiness.
Tidiness is great because like you're like my mind like works on solutions of where things could be and should be and stuff.
Like flow.
Yeah, flow and feng shui and what people like call it's like it's all like it makes sense when you're really trying to relax and like completely like for example, if you're trying to meditate and like if you try to meditate and walk around your house, like would you be able to do that with your eyes open, like or would it kind of drive you crazy, like you would be thinking of so many things, not drive you crazy, but it would make you think of so many different things. Like I feel like it needs to flow in whatever way, but you have to have a vision for it. It has to have a direction, or else you'll just make your own direction in your mind.
Wow. I mean, that's creative placemaking. You're really talking about, like creating this space that is conducive for people to feel at home, right, and comfortable, which is a huge part of our events. That's why people come back, is because how we treat them. So I think, we want to know, like, what are some strategies that others can use to make their space more hospitable or conducive for like people that come into their space?
Like some basic things like having water available to people, like it's so good for people's minds in so many different ways, and your attitude, and like being offered something when you're anywhere is a good start to a good relationship, which is what it's all about, which is what we do is all about. But yeah, besides water, like another thing that people think of less is like when we choose our tapestries and stuff, like for events, and making it like making it so you don't have images that one could even confuse as negative in any sort of like way. Is just like a good default. Is it kind if that's what you're going for? Is kind of like a blank canvas or like something that's just positive, like which should be most spaces.
So what are some of the first things you do when you walk into a room, one of those spaces that's not so positive? What do you look at first? Like just in a space. Like you've had a lot of experience. I know that you've been hired as a professional to help organize people's houses.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty awesome,
Mm-hmm.
So what do you look at first? Like what's your idea? What are you thinking about?
What's funny and why I always end up in the kitchen is that it always, like, where I always have to start, where you need to start, is where things and how things are cleaned. And it's usually the biggest sink in the house that people utilize So like, yeah, it's in the kitchen. So I always start with the kitchen. Always start with the sink, that water. Well, I've been talking to these guys in this room right there about like how water and fire like should be like equally respected, because like water is just such a powerful force, and like that a sink is a lot like having a flamethrower in your house, like with the destruction that it can cause, like in the wrong hands.
Can you go more into that?
Yeah, like the same, like if you can imagine, like the power of something that's giving life, like having water sit with just a little bit of like your food waste is gonna grow, you know, it could end up, probably will end up growing like a mold and something like that. It was, you know, a lot of people are sensitive to, and like all of us, you know, we have inner battles with all these things with our immune system. It's just not good to have, because the less battles you're having, the more your body can focus on more important things.
Wow. And guys, I don't know if you know this, but Justin, your granddad is 99 years old.
He's 100.
He's 100. Wow, he just
Well,
turned 100. So I think this information that you're saying, there might be some merit. I think you've played a pivotal role. You live with your grandparents, correct?
I do.
So,
Northwest
you know, in
DC.
terms of longevity, what are some other things that, you know, you see him practice or that you practice that, you know, we might be able to start practicing at our age?
My grandpa's always in the kitchen. My grandpa, well, now he's getting old. He's been a little sick recently, but he's like, either way, every day, if he's not in the kitchen, he's like doing like well, you know, stuff he does other stuff. He's also like shopping. He shops every day and stuff like that, which you don't really have to do. That's just how he likes to do it. And you know, he cares. He's always had a sensitive digestion, so it's always been a big deal for him to like focus on his food, and which a lot of people don't really do. Like we just eat what's available, and that's what we're doing. It's the whole thing with, it's one of the things that we do with Mettā, and it's making it fun, easy, and like hopefully cool, and like, you know, relatable, to do what's sustainable, and to do what is you know, right on a planetary and like social level.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Justin is our director of hospitality for Beauty in the Backyard, and I feel like I should have said that much earlier in the podcast, so I apologize. But what is behind your desire to provide nourishment for others and make sure that these experiences are facilitated? Like, what do you get from that?
Well, this actually ties into like the answer to your first question, which was when I first like met Dylan, bought the ticket. It was a couple weeks before I saw him again. It was or like maybe a month or so, and it was right before Beauty in the Backyard 2018 started, and I went over to his place to see if he needed any help or like what he was up to with it, because he said he was doing it himself, but I kind of wanted to see what that was like, because I was into throwing events too. And I go over there, and he ended up grinding. I watched him grind all through the night on his computer, and I was just rolling joints the whole time, and just like and putting in my 2 cents on stuff that I knew very little about. And
the truth comes out. It's a vulnerable podcast.
Yeah, and yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you for being there, man. And I think in all of it was just some emotional support you provided in those. I felt like really hard like pressure. You know, we had a lot of pressure on us in those moments. Like I remember Davis and the team were at Ramblewood, and you and I were the only ones, you know, still in DC because you guys didn't have service. I remember, and we needed someone on a laptop, and like, you know, we really needed someone to actually be like online, which is like this, we're sitting here with 3 computers in front of us, and our battle with technology, because it gets stressful, man. So thank you for being there for that.
Oh yeah, that was, yeah, exactly, and that brings us back into the actual question.
Yeah, your desire, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the desire. So, like, I mean, seeing Dylan and Shaw that night grinding it out, and then through Beauty in the Backyard. The first time I cooked for them was after Beauty in the Backyard. It was the Sunday, and everyone was just exhausted and sleeping in, and I woke up before everybody. I don't even know what time it was.
I remember that very, very well, because I woke up and I think it was, Tuesday already or something, and I'm like, did I sleep I slept for 18 hours straight, because I don't think I slept the whole weekend. So I remember waking up into this amazing food, and you made coffee, like cacao mixed with chocolate, and just like came back to life. So anyway, continue, just adding validity to the story.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So anyway, I just got up early and everyone was just like pooped. So I was like, and I had some energy, and I knew that they were going hard for like weeks, months. I don't even know really like about this event, and I had the best time of my life. So it was an honor. It was my privilege to get up, check around the grounds to make sure everything was clean and kosher, and then I cooked some food and made some there was some extra cacao stuff. It was incredible. It was really delicious. We made ranchero eggs at the time. I actually wasn't vegan back then. I wasn't really trying to do much with my food intake when it comes to sustainability. I kind of I was really disconnected at the time. I feel like I'm just getting way off topic.
But, talk about that disconnection. What were you feeling? And we all kind of feel disconnected,
Oh well, I mean, yeah. Before that, I mean, when I was just meeting before I met you, and going to Beauty and stuff, I was really lonely, and I thought that the things that I valued were not the things that my generation or my friend group, or even four levels of separation away from me. I just didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody who was doing anything that I thought was really worth my time, or I mean I'm not sure what I mean. It's worth my complete dedication like I have for this community. Yeah, but I did. Yeah, and I found something I never thought was even there really. It was only I never even, they don't even, maybe there's a movie about it. I've never seen it, but.
and you were open to receive, man, open to just meeting the next person.
Yeah.
Being in the moment.
So what changed for you from then until now?
What changed? Well, geez. Well, I met, a lot of new friends. Geez, I've never met so many people that I could just spend endless time with all at once. It's really fantastic. I don't know if anyone else. I actually am sure that other people have had many similar experiences that I had last year. But it was incredible. I mean, I have so many positive influences in my life, in so many different and unique and to what I envision my life to be. Everything is just going better because I'm learning how to manifest my destiny with people who who are helping me project it on this reality, and it's it's powerful and it's beautiful. I love you guys.
Yeah, we love you too, man. That's really raw, and we appreciate you being open with us and just giving what you give, you know. And I think what Dylan was saying earlier is like a lot of that hospitality and the nourishment and the food and just emotional support and friendship is often overlooked. And there's a lot of people that feel lonely. We've done research on this topic. You know, these events are helping connect people. That's our goal, is to connect and inspire people, and it really touches our hearts to know that it's working, you know, and that's why we keep doing it. So yeah, we appreciate you, and we love you too, man. So
Like, people gotta eat,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah, exactly.
and
So we call our team leaders Mettā creators. That means that you're in charge of a team, and as a Mettā creator, what are some of the most meaningful moments for you?
Well, yeah, since being a Mettā creator, geez, like, most meaningful moments. I was thinking, yeah, obviously the most meaningful moment, I'm gonna put it down as an event kind of thing. It was, we had a theme camp, we still do, every year, I suppose, those were kind of a staple now. At Catharsis on the Mall, which is an annual Burning Man exposition. And it has art from the Big Burn in Black Rock City, Nevada. And it's fantastic. We have a theme camp there, and that year, what was so impactful was that was our first year being invited, like the third year of it going on. And we had a beautiful big tent, and we had everyone on board, all of my now closest friends at the time, to come together and make this a space that has our organization's values, and to bring something to the table. And so it was beautiful. We got to work with art installations. Like, we got to make our own art installation. We had an incredibly warm and cozy tent amidst just a fantastically cold and dreary night that we fought off hard with heaters and blankets and each other. And I got to actually be a greeter that night at our camp, and I hugged the living fuck out of, like, it seemed like 1,000 people. Like, I probably did like 50 over 20-second hugs that night, and I was juiced on oxytocin. I think that's what it is. I was juiced up.
okay, let's talk about this hugging. Davis and I have noticed there's been a workshop submission, a hugging workshop.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny. At Catharsis that year, people, more than one person told me that I should do a hugging workshop, and that was like the first time I'd ever like been. That was our first Catharsis. The first time I've been really around workshops at like a music, what I thought was like a music festival kind of like feel. And workshops are so cool because you're like at this incredible outdoor party thing with a bunch of cool people walking around. You're learning this weird stuff you wouldn't really have learned any other way. It's really quite a cool place to learn. It's like Hogwarts, but much better. Yeah. So. The hugging workshop. So I was doing a lot of intense hugging, and like some people told me that like it was the most meaningful physical touch that they've had in like ever or years and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, That's a shame. I mean, like, no, but I totally feel it, because I was, but the whole, like, not the whole thing, but a big part of what it was just, I was giving off the energy, and I was keeping my mindset in a place of just acceptance, and I was just letting people love me as much as they wanted to. And like, and I was loving them as much as I wanted to, which is like completely. And it was it was mutually beneficial. Everyone had a good time. So yeah, I'm doing a workshop. It's gonna be a lot about mindset and well, it's gonna be a lot about a lot of stuff. It's gonna be like an hour-long workshop of poetry. So yeah, stay tuned.
It's a lot of oxytocin.
It's
Right,
yeah,
for those
it's
that
fun.
don't get the reference, when you hug somebody for more than 20 seconds, a phenomena happens where excess amounts of oxytocin are released in your brain, creating euphoria and allowing vulnerability and deeper connection and that sort of thing. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, exactly. We should
So-
all be doing that to each other and with each other. all the time.
Yes. So that's a good segue to the next question. What do you value most in friendship?
What do I value most in friendship? Well, I'll tell you what. I took an online test once.
How did we go?
And it was a language of love test, and my numero uno it seemed to be a really in-depth test, and my number one was quality time. But with friends, well, I don't know. Maybe that was talking about romantic love, but because honestly, time. I guess quality time is it, yeah. But quality time doesn't have to be a long amount of time. It just has to be quality. It can just be a second.
Yeah.
Like there are people that I shared moments with at that catharsis that I feel like were of such a high quality. It was equatable to a lot of relationships that I've had for months or years, whatever.
That reminds me of the podcast that you just sent to me, Dylan, of the Burning Man podcast on what's it called?
1A.
1A. And they were talking about like people at Burning Man having deeper connections and like a stronger relationship with people. And Ethan even said this yesterday also about having those deeper connections with higher quality with a short amount of time, like somebody that you've spent 10 days with or something, or even just a couple seconds or a couple minutes in these environments like at catharsis and at these events where so much good energy is being shared, people are creative, they've got the good juices flowing.
It's a social flow state.
Yeah, exactly. And then like more so or deeper than people that they've known their whole lives, coworkers, even family members sometimes. It's like really special if you think about that. Like even even family members, even people you know your whole lives. Like these moments are so precious, and people are realizing more and more what is valuable in life.
Yeah. And they talk about trust is built in the multiple stacking of little moments like this. So how we build trust with people is continuing these moments, and they may be short, but it all adds to the stacking that leads to stronger trust with each other. So
What's
Justin, finish this question. What you probably don't know about me is.
What you probably don't know about me is so alright. You probably don't know about me. What does anybody know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? Alright, so it turns out my lip gloss be cool. My lip gloss be poppin'. Alright. I'll answer the question. I'll answer your question. What you probably don't know about me is that if I had to pick a favorite Yeah. So that's it. Dropping
Why?
mine.
What? I don't know what the Pokemon is.
Gyarados is a sea monster. Magic Harp evolves into Gyarados. I just really respect the Gyarados because its transformation is just so abrupt and extreme.
Does that relate to like Pisces? Because like you and I were born on the same day. I don't know if you would know that. And is that like our Pisces moon? Right? Is that...
Pisces, yeah, we're Cuspies. We got, I don't know, are we 100% on your Pisces moon over here?
Yeah.
I think this is all.
Well, actually, the three of us sitting, I don't know about you, Dylan, but there's 3 Pisces moons here sitting. Justin's moon.
But Dylan and
I
I
was
share
gonna say-
a cusp, sun, Pisces. March 21st, Pisces, Aries cusp. So actually, yeah, Gyarados in a way, because Gyarados can also, he's a dragon that's like an underwater dragon. He can shoot, he can have like, fireballs and stuff. So like, yeah, that's
So
exactly.
it
Fireball,
sounds like
yeah,
that
fireball.
transformation relates more so to like your experience. Sounds
Yeah.
like. And had this been your favorite Pokemon already?
No, and it's not like that's like right this second. That's like if I
That
didn't
would make
know
sense
right
now.
this second.
Okay.
Like, you know.
Okay, so if money wasn't an object, what would you be doing?
Jeez, what wouldn't I be doing? You know, I would. If money wasn't an option, I would play a lot of rock and roll music. I'd make a band. If money wasn't an option, I had like all the money in the world, I would have a laboratory, and I would find a way to make sustainable, happy, and life fulfilling Pokemon real life.
Wow.
I'm actually not a Pokemon freak, everybody, but I'm talking a lot about Pokemon.
So about on the music subject,
Yeah,
I'd like
back
to
to
close us out with a nice little tune.
I'd love to.
This is awesome. Front row seats, our own live show.
Oh yeah. Nothing can love me now. You had a glimpse inside. Now I can't hide. No. I'm your director of hospitality. Come sit next to me, I've got what you need. You can call me on my walkie-talkie. I'll be there listening all night. Oh, what you got a question? It's on that Trello board. Oh, what I got an answer for you. It'll hit you up on my Telegram. I got no time to spend. I'm off on the weekends, but I stay inside. I'm riding it out, going to the beauty in the face. Best time I've ever had. Meet all your lifelong friends there, and jam with the band.
Thank you so much. That was incredible. I think we have to give you a round of applause because that was seriously great. Justin, how do you want people to connect with you on the internet or in person?
Oh,
How can people reach out to you?
how could people reach out to me? I'm gonna drop my
Telegram.
whole.
Careful.
I'm gonna drop my whole phone number on this junk right now.
There you
You
go.
can call me.
Wait,
Anyone who
you
listens to a
download the
Mettā
podcast?
podcast all the way through, especially with my name on it, you know what? You're gonna get my number.
You're a
So
Facebook guy.
It's 561 323 0393. You can call me, you can text me.
Yes.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
I'm gonna text you later.
Thank you.
Just to say thank you again.
I
And as
appreciate
always,
that.
to stay up to date with what we're doing and check out our blogs, upcoming events, Beauty in the Backyard, mettacreative.world is our website, METTA creative.world. And as always, this has been an episode of the Mettā Makers podcast, collaborative arts.
Inspiring sustainability.
Thanks for listening.
You!
Oh!
That was so good.
Yeah.
Thanks for it.
Director.
I'm your director.
Oh my
Hug
god.
me.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. That was
Only if
great.
I can have a hug too.
For 20 seconds at least.
Nice.
I'm your director. Call me on my walkie-talkie.
Hit me
Come
up,
sit
down
next to
there.
me. I'll answer your questions. But guess what? You know it's already on trial.
That was great.
Thank you, bro.
Oh my god.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Get my story out there, dude.
Yes.
That was excellent.
Quality content.
Dude.
Dude.